Okay. Hello everyone. Welcome back to PMAT1100. So in the previous video, I talked about how to multiply and dividing quantity together. In this section, section 1.4, we will look into more application of multiplication, multiplying quantity. We'll be talking about and distinguish between two different type of interest. The first one we call a simple interest, and the second one we call a compound interest. We also learn how to distinguish between linear and exponential growth, how simple interest corresponding to linear and how compound interest corresponding to exponential growth. So get started. Okay, let's get started. So section 1.4. So I'm gonna put the topic today is simple interest and compound interest. Okay, linear and exponential growth. Okay, all right. So let's try to distinguish between simple interest and compound interest first. What is simple interest? You remember in the live example of the previous video, and I talked about banking deposit, and remember I said 1,000, you deposit 1,000, and you keep adding $100 each month to your account, and how much you can have after the first month, after the first year, something like that. Okay, so today we're gonna do something related to banking. Simple interest and the compound interest is the method of the bank for you to make money when you deposit your money into the bank. Okay, as far as I know, most of the bank use simple interest. The compound interest, I believe that it's not for saving account or checking account. It's probably for something else, money market account or another different type of account. But most of the bank, they use simple interest because they don't want you to make a lot of money. They want to make their own money, but they don't want you to make a lot of money. So most of the time, when you open the saving account, that is the simple interest, not a compound interest. Okay, but what is the difference between simple interest and the compound interest? But before doing that, before tell the difference between those two interest, simple and compound, what is interest first? Maybe everybody is working over here. Everybody have some amount of money, and you have some money in the bank, right? And maybe you know what interest it is. If you buy a car from the car dealer, right? And they say that if you buy a car at $20,000 and you had a payment, the down payment of $10,000, and each month you have to pay a certain amount of money. That amount of money include the interest. Okay, because the interest, the percentage they give you, the bank give you, okay, for you to buy a car or for you to buy a house, okay, based on, well, it's based on the market, of course. If they give you the high interest, it means that you have to pay more. Okay, the interest is based on the original. It's based on the market, and it's also based on the original price of the product you want to buy. For example, buy the house, the product could be the house, the product could be the car, anything. So interest is just amount of money. It is the fee paid for use someone else's money. Okay. So let's write out that definition first. So interest is a fee paid for use of someone's else money. You borrow money from the bank, right? It means you guys use the bank money. It means that you have to pay interest. Okay, it means you have to pay this. Nobody borrow money for free. You know, nobody rent you money for free. Okay, for example, you want to borrow my money. Okay, and I say that, for example, you want to borrow $10. Okay, and I say that you have to pay 10% interest every day. It means that you have to pay me back $10 and 10% of that $10. Okay, we're gonna go through the example so that you can understand better the interest, and so that you can distinguish between simple and compound interest. So that is the definition of interest. Then what is simple interest? Simple interest. Okay. Simple interest is calculated as a percentage, okay, of the original amount of money. Okay, so I already give you the example. I said you borrow $10 and I said it's 1% interest. It means that you have to pay me $10 back, and 1% or 10% of that $10. Okay, so that is simple interest for the first day. Okay, and you do the same for the second day and the third day. So that is simple interest. Okay, then what is compound interest? Compound interest. So compound interest is the interest calculated as a percentage of the original amount of money. And so this is kind of the same, right? But also based on the interest previously earned as well. Okay, I can give you an example like this. For example, you you borrow me $10. Okay, and on the first day, I say that the interest is 10% on the first day. It means that you have to pay me back $10 and 10% of that $10. It means $1. Okay. Then if on the first day you don't pay, and you want to pay on the second day, it means what? It means that you have to pay me $10 and 10% of the amount of money I make from 10% on the first day. Okay, it means that you have to pay me back $11 plus 10% of $11. Everybody get it? It's kind of hard, right? Let's go through the example like this. Let's jump to example like this. Okay, how about this? Let's talk about banking. Okay, and forget about the example I just gave you. Let's just talk about the banking example right here. For example, you deposit I say $1,000, okay, into the account. Okay, I mean you open the account and you deposit $1,000 into that, and that account pay 5% simple interest. Let's talk about a simple interest first. Actually, in the reality, no bank pay you 5% interest. I believe that they pay you 1% interest. Okay, if you know any bank that pay 5% interest, please tell me. Okay, no banks like this. Is a very ideal situation. So you deposit $1,000 into the account. The account pay 5% simple interest on the first year. 5% is each year. Just put each year. Okay. All right. So it means what? It means that every year after the first year, how much you will have in the account. How are we gonna find that? You're gonna do like this. So you're gonna have $1,000, right? The one you already have, right? And they pay 5% of that 1,000. So it will be 5%. It means 0.05 times 1,000, right? 0.05 times 1,000. 0.05 times 1,000 give you what? Give you 50. So in your account after the first year, you will have $1,050. That is for the first year. Okay, this is the first year. How about the second year? For the second year, you will do the same. You will have $1,000. Okay, $1,000, and because it's the second year, right? It's second year. So how much are you gonna have after 2 years? Second year. So it means what? It means that you will have 1,050, right? 1,050. So over here should be 1,050. So because right now after the first year you already have 1,050. The second year will be 1,050 plus 5% of the original. So plus 0.05 of the original. So after the second year, you will have how much? You will have $1,100, right? Right? You see that? So after the third year, you're going to do the same. You will have, after the third year, you have 1,100 plus 0.05 of an original amount. So you will have $1,100 plus $50 more. So you will have $1,150. Okay, so you see that with 5% interest, you make a lot of money. Well, I'm not gonna say a lot of money, but compared to a reasonable amount, 1,000, after 3 years, you have $1,150. Okay. Okay. Then after 10 years, what happened? You're gonna do the same, right? You're gonna do the same. So you're gonna do the same. Okay. But there's a short way to do the math instead of just go ahead calculate 4 year, 5 year, 10 year, right? You're not gonna do like that anymore. This is what you're gonna do for n years. For n year. It means how many years? I don't know. 10 year, 20 year. This is what you're gonna do. You're gonna take 1,000. Okay, you're gonna take 1,000 plus 0.05 times 100. 1.05 times 1,000 times n. N represents the number of years. Then it will give you an amount of money after n years. Okay, everybody get it? So that is the simple interest. That is the simple interest. Okay, so the amount of money you make from the interest is based on the original amount. Okay, now let's do the same thing. Let's jump to the second example. On the second example, we're going to have everything the same, but instead of 5% simple interest, we have 5% compound interest. So we deposit $1,000 into an account. Okay, and that account pay 5% interest, 5% compound interest, not simple interest anymore, each year. So what is gonna happen? You will see the difference. You will see the difference. So after the first year will be the same. So the first year, so you're gonna have 1,000 plus 0.05, 5% of the original one, right? So you will have the same thing. So after the first year, simple interest and compound interest is the same. Okay, simple interest and compound interest is the same. However, the second year, instead of having 5% on the original amount, we will have 5% on the new amount you already earned after the first year. So it will be 1,005. Okay, plus 0.05 of this of $1,050. So you're gonna take 5% of the new amount. Of the new amount. So what you're gonna have? You're gonna have 0.05 multiplied by 1,050 plus 1,050. So you can have 1,102. So you see the difference? You see the difference? It's a little bit more, right? It's a little bit more. And for the third year, it's gonna be 5% of the new amount. It means this will be 5% of the second year. So the new amount of money you have in your account after 3 years will be 1,102.5 plus 5% of 1,102.5. Okay. Okay. So what is gonna be? Let's do a quick calculation here. So you can have 1102.5 plus 105 times 1102.5, so you have 1,157.63 dollars. So you see that you're gonna get more money. You're gonna get more money with compound interest, right? See, after after 3 years for the simple interest, you just make that much, but with the compound interest, after 3 years, you make this much more. So the compound interest is very good. Okay, it's very good. If you know any bank that give you compound interest, that give a customer compound interest, let me know. Okay, then what happens if you have n year? So for n year, so what's gonna be for n years? We're gonna have what? How we're gonna write a formula for n year? So this is the formula. This is a formula for the example for n year, right? So for n year, so what's gonna be? For n years, I mean 10 years or 50 years or 30 years. So this is what you're gonna have for n years. You will have 1,000. Okay, 1,000. You multiply by 1.05. You multiply by 1 plus 0.05. Okay, 0.05 is the percent, the compound interest. So 1 plus 1.05 raised to the n, which is give you 1,000 times 1.05 raised to the n. Raised to the n. Okay, I'm not gonna go through the math too deeply over here, because I can explain how you get this. Actually, it's just because you have 1,000, you multiply by 1.05, and you just keep multiplying by 1.05. If you have 2 years, you multiply by 1.05 times 1.05. Okay, so when you do in college algebra, if anyone does college algebra, probably not. I'm gonna explain to you why that we can come up with this. Okay, but at this time, just go ahead and take it for granted that for n year, you're gonna take the original amount, you multiply by 1 plus the rate. Okay, 1 plus the rate, everything raised to the n. Okay, everything raised to the n. Alright. So based on the example 1 and example 2, right over here, we see that example 2 is carrying the amount of money you put in the bank is growing faster, right? It's growing faster than example number 1. You see, the money you have in the bank is faster, it's bigger, it's large. Okay, so in conclusion, we can have this remark. So in conclusion, we're gonna have that simple interest is linear growth. Okay, it's linear growth. However, for compound interest is exponential growth. So if you heard anything's growing exponentially, you know for sure that it's growing really fast. For example, I can say the universe is growing, is getting bigger and bigger exponentially. And all the scientists have already been proved that, and it's true. It's growing really fast. I mean, the universe is getting bigger and bigger every day, every hour, every minute, every second. It's growing super fast. Okay. So that's why that in the second example, you see the amount of money is growing faster. Okay, it's growing faster. All right. I can give you another example like this. Okay. Example number 3. Example number 3. An investment of $20,000 earns 7.5% interest. Okay, period. Find the value of the investment, okay, after 15 years if interest is A, simple, and B, compound. Alright, so how are we going to do this problem? Well, actually, we already have the formula. We already deduced the formula, so it's not going to be very easy for this problem. It could be very easy. Okay, solution, answer. So you know the original amount we invested is 20,000. So for the simple, what we're gonna have? The simple. So this over here, you see the first example. The original is 1,000. So we're gonna have the original over here. So will be 20,000 plus, right? The 7.5%. 7.5% is 0.075, right? You multiply by 20,000, right? Then you also multiply by how many years after? So multiply by 15 years. And we're going to use calculator for this problem. So you have all right, you multiply by 20,000. Okay, so when you multiply 0.075 by 20,000, it gives you the amount of money you make based on the 7.5 interest. If you add it to 20,000, it gives you the total amount of money after the first year. But because this is after 17 years, so we have to multiply by 15, because after 15 years. Okay, so you multiply by 15. Okay, then you add it to 20,000. So after 15 years, the amount of money you earn from the investment is $42,500. It's kind of very good though. See, you just invest 20,000, and after 15 years you have 42. I mean, you have more than double. I don't know who's gonna pay this. Probably the life insurance, or well, I don't know, probably you playing stock or something like that. Probably the life insurance. There's a certain type of life insurance they pay you that much. The custom life insurance, probably they pay you that much. I don't know. All right. But for compound, what happened for compound? So for compound, you're gonna do this. You're gonna use this. So you're gonna have 20,000. All right. Multiply by 1 plus, it's always 1, 0.075, everything raised to the 15. Okay, that's pretty big number, so you're gonna have 20,000 multiplied by 1.075 raised to the 15. 1.075 raised to the 15. Then you multiply by 20,000, so you have 59,177 and 54 cents. So if you compare between two methods of investment, you see that the simple interest is always the compound interest is always help you make more money. You see that? Compared to the simple, see that? 42, but this is 59. It's very good. Very good one. Okay, it's very good one. Okay. So basically that is how you're gonna do a simple and compound interest. And so based on this all the example over here, we can come up with a general formula. Okay, general formula. Okay, so the second remark. So this is remark number 1. This is remark number 2. Okay. First of all, the general formula for simple interest will be what? The new value. New value. I mean the new amount of money will be equal to the original value, the original amount of money, plus the amount of growth per time period multiplied by number of time period. Okay, so that is the general formula. It totally makes sense, right? So the original amount is over here. You see, original amount plus the amount of growth amount. So this is the amount of growth right here, multiplied by time period. The time period is the number of years accumulated. Okay, that's for simple interest. And for the compound interest, the new value will equal to original value. You multiply by 1 plus the growth rate. Okay, we'll go to percentage, and everything raised to the number of time. I'm going to put the number n. I mean the number of years. Okay, everybody clear on this? So it's not really that hard, right? But when you do the problem, you must be able to distinguish between compound and simple. But most of the problem, they tell you right away. They say, okay, this is simple interest, this is compound interest. So it's going to be very easy. It's not really that hard. Okay? And remember that simple interest is the linear growth, and the compound interest is exponential growth. That's why the compound interest will help you to make more money. Okay? So I think that's all for section 1.4. So I'm gonna stop right over here. Next video I will be talking about section 1.5. Alright, I'll see you next time. Bye bye.